algebra students, Mr. Lawrence here, and here's a quick video on multiplying and dividing in scientific notation. Before I actually get to it, I want to do this simple problem up here. In this simple problem, the quantity of 5x to the 6th times the quantity of 3x to the 5th, you know you're supposed to multiply the 5 times the 3, right? And you also know you're supposed to multiply the x to the 6th by the x to the 5th. So let's do that really quick. All right, so we've got 5 times 3 is 15. And x to the 6th times x to the 5th would be x to the 11th power. Now, why did I do that first? Because the problems in scientific notation behave very much the same way. I'm going to do two examples for you and then give you a chance to practice on your own. So here's example A. Excuse me. I'm going to multiply the quantity of 3½ times 10 to the 7th by 5 2/10 times 10 to the 4th. First thing I'm going to do is multiply this by this. And then I'm going to multiply this by this. And the cool thing is, the powers of 10 that are highlighted in blue, they're going to behave very much like variables. They're not variables, but the way I multiply them is going to be the same. So the first thing I'm going to do is multiply 5 2/10 by 3½ and I'm just grabbing a calculator here because I don't want this to be a super long video. And I'm going to get 18 2/10. 18 2/10 times 10 to the 11th power. All right. Now, I don't like this answer. I haven't made any mistakes. By the way, I got 11th because 10 to the 7th times 10 to the 4th would be 10 to the 11th, right? Okay. So I don't like this answer because it's too large. Remember, for scientific notation, our number has to be at least 1 and less than 10, and 18 2/10 is greater than 10. So I need to divide by 10. That'll move the decimal point. But if I divide this part of the number by 10, I have to multiply this part of the number by 10. And again, it would be 10 to the 1st. So my answer here is going to be 1 82/100 times 10 to the, I don't know why that's there. I can't get rid of it. There we go, maybe that'll help. Times 10 to the 12th power. Okay. Now when I go to do this next one, problem B, it's very much the same thing. I'm going to multiply the 9 times the 80. And I have to multiply the 10 to the negative 6th by the 10 to the negative 3rd. Okay? And so when I do that, I'm going to get 720 times 10 to the negative 9th. Now, again, this number is too large, so I'm going to have to divide by 10 twice, or in other words, divide by 10 to the 2nd power, which means I'll multiply this part of the problem by 10 to the 2nd power. So 720 divided by 100 would be 7 2/10 times 10 to the negative 9 plus 2 is negative 7. And there you go. There it is. Okay. I've got 4 examples here. I would like for you to try, pause the video and give them a shot, and then come back and see what I did. Okay, if you haven't paused the video, please do so now and try the 4 problems. Here we go. 5 times 9 is 45, and 10 to the 8th times 10 to the 3rd is 10 to the 11th. It's too large, so I'll divide by 10 and get 4½ but then I have to multiply the other part by 10 and get 10 to the 12th. There is your answer for problem number 1. Okay, problem number 2. I have to multiply the 8 69/100 by the 3 24/100, and when I do that, I'm going to get 28, and let me see, 10, 100, 1,000, 1,556 10,000, 1,556 10,000s. The number's too big. Oh, wait, sorry, got ahead of myself there. Times 10 to the 13th power. The number's too big, so I'm going to divide it by 10. Give me 1, 5, 5, 6. All right, so that's 2 and 81,556 100,000s, I think, right? Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Yep. Okay, times 10 to the 14th power. I don't know if you notice the inverse relationship. The coefficient got smaller, so the exponent gets bigger. Coefficient got smaller, the exponent got bigger. If the coefficient got bigger, the exponent would get smaller. Okay, dropping down here to numbers 3 and 4. So I'm going to do 7 and 2/10 times 9 and 1/10, and that would be 65 and 52/100 times 10 to the negative 13th. 65 is too large of a number, so I'll divide by 10. Give me 6.552. So that's 6 and 552 thousandths times 10 to the, negative 12. Yeah, the negative 13 has to get larger. And finally, the last one is going to be 2,404 and 16/100 times 10 to the negative 7th. So I'm going to divide by 10 to the first, second, third. I'm dividing by 1,000, dividing by 10 to the third. So this is going to become 2,404 times 10 to the, let's see, if I multiply by 1,000, it'd be 10 to the third. I'm going to get a negative 4 there. And there you go. Okay? Any questions with that? Come on and see me. Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.